Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog, and I was gonna talk about Tyler Herro and the Sixth Man of the Year award race this year, but it's pretty obvious. I think he's kind of like running away with it at this point. But I want to talk about the Indiana Pacers as a whole, because this offseason is going to be extremely interesting for the Indiana Pacers. There's about 10 games left in the season. And the Pacers are competing with the Portland Trail Blazers and the Sacramento Kings for the 5th overall pick in this year's NBA draft. Now, I don't think the standings are going to change much. I understand that the draft isn't completely based on record, but, you know, the worse record you have, the better your odds are at, like, getting a decent pick. And I would really like to see the Pacers go after somebody like Keegan Murray in the draft. He's a guy I'm hoping that they'll be able to get. Timmy from Gonzaga is pretty good. Chet Holmgren I'm not that high on. I know a lot of people are, but I feel like he's just another Kristaps Porzingis. So the Pacers start off, with the draft, essentially. They're going to get a top 5 pick, I think. I think it's pretty obvious at this point, or at least in the top 6 or top 7. And the problem with this draft is the idea that, like, there's not a lot of really, oh my god, great players. There's a couple guys that, like, kind of stand out to me when it comes to the draft. Granted, Jaden Ivey, I think, is criminally underrated. I can't say criminal. Well, I can't say criminally underrated, but, like, I think when it comes to draft prospects, I don't feel like there's any reason why guys like Jabari Smith and Paolo Banchero should be ahead of him. I just don't. I think Jaden Ivey is a prospect that's, for whatever reason, going to slip. He's a guy that he's gonna go within the top 10. I think if he enters the draft, it's just the idea, like, I don't think some of the guys that are being put ahead of Jaden Ivey are really better than Jaden Ivey. And there's another guy out of Wisconsin, Johnny Davis, who I actually really like. But the thing is, the Pacers need a power forward, man. They need a power forward. They need some front court presence. And I'm hoping, a guy like Keegan Murray would be nice. Even Jabari Smith or Paolo Banchero, I'll take. It's just a matter of, like, they need a decent prospect, to really develop. None of the guys, there's not a lot of guys in this draft that I would consider, like, bona fide stars. Like, they're not guys that I feel like are going to join the NBA and be like, a fucking 20 point per game scorer. There's just not a lot of guys in this draft that I think are going to do that. Jaden Ivey has the potential, but it's just the idea. Is anyone actually going to do that? Probably not. So that's the first thing, is the draft. The next thing is the Pacers are going to be making a lot, and I mean a lot, of moves this offseason. Just looking at the roster, they have Buddy Hield, who they will probably trade. They could maybe get a first-round pick for Buddy Hield this offseason, or, maybe get some young assets. There's a couple guys on this roster I'm hoping the Pacers keep. And one of those guys is Jalen Smith. I understand we have Isaiah Jackson, but Jalen Smith, in the 15 games that he's played for the Pacers, has been very good. I mean, he's scoring 13.2 points per game. He's shooting 76% from the free throw line, 38% from 3, and 55% from the field on 25 minutes per game. If you ask me, that's a pretty solid, power forward / center, and he's only 21 years old. So even really, if we don't get a power forward in the draft, it's not the end of the world. But like a decent small forward or something, really the biggest question right now the biggest question on I'd say on the Pacers roster right now is TJ Warren. Mainly because they're not playing TJ Warren for the rest of the season, even though he's over his injury. Mostly because to prepare for next season. But the thing is, he's, I think, an unrestricted free agent this offseason. So I don't know if that's a sign that they're going to bring him back. I know he wants to continue to be a Pacer, but it's just the idea, like, TJ Warren doesn't strike me as a first option. So yeah, his contract expires this year. So he's an unrestricted free agent this offseason at the age of 29. So I don't really know. I'm not a huge fan of TJ Warren. I know there's a lot of people out there who saw his performance in the bubble. And yeah, if we're getting bubble TJ Warren, sure, re-sign him. But the thing is, it's like, how often are you really going to get that? Like, he hasn't played in a year. There's a lot of injury-prone guys on this roster, specifically Malcolm Brogdon, who's probably going to get traded as well. The Pacers are going to have a lot, and I mean a lot of offseason moves this year. Just looking at the roster, Sabonis is gone. We have, and LeVert is now gone. Malcolm Brogdon has only played 36 games for the Pacers this year. He's going to play less than 50. He's getting traded. I'm just telling you guys now, the Pacers are going to look to move Malcolm Brogdon this offseason. Malcolm Brogdon is not a bad point guard. He's just very fucking injury prone. I mean, the guy never plays fucking games. And when you play an 82-game season and you got to put a starting point guard who can only show up for 36 of them, granted, his stats this year weren't great either. I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, he's scoring 19 points per game, but he's shooting 31% from 3, 44% from the field. Those are not good numbers, okay? They're just not. Not for a point guard, He's 29 years old. Somebody will take him for something. We're probably not going to get a lot for him, just a heads up. Malcolm Brogdon is a good player, but this year his stats were really fucking bad. I mean, a far cry from the 50, 40, 90 season that we signed him off of. Some guys that you should expect to not return, okay? Number 1 is actually Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon's probably going to get traded. Buddy Hield is weird. I feel Buddy Hield has been pretty, in the 15 games he's played for the Pacers, he shot 44% from the field, 33% from 3, scoring 19 points per game. Not like he's shooting 88% from the free throw line, 5 assists, 5 rebounds a game, 19 a game. He's average. I'm just going to call it what it is. He's not like, I can see somebody trading for Buddy Hield. We're probably going to get rid of Buddy Hield, probably going to get rid of Malcolm Brogdon. Like, these are all guys that I'm pretty positive we're going to get rid of. Who else? Justin Holiday is gone. Miles Turner we're probably going to keep, as unfortunate as that is. He's shooting 50% from the field. Miles Turner only played 42 games this year. Shooting 50% from the field, 33% from 3, 75% from the line. But because centers are just, I don't know, Miles Turner's like a 3-and-D center. Who knows? They might trade him if they get the right offer. TJ McConnell, I don't think is going to get traded. This is a guy that a lot of Pacers fans don't like, and I'm shocked because TJ McConnell is arguably like one of the best backup point guards in the NBA, and I get it. He's not a good three-point shooter. He's a liability on defense, but he's a backup point guard. People seem to act like backup point guards need to be like the next Kyrie Irving, or at least the Pacers fans do. TJ McConnell they just re-signed him to a big deal. He, had an injury at the beginning of the season. Like I said, he only played 24 games. He started for 6 of them. He shoots 50% from the field, okay? And he pretty much consistently does that. Excuse me. Granted, 28% from 3 is not ideal, less than ideal, but he shoots 80% from the free throw line, and when he plays, he scores 8 points, averages 8 assists, granted 3 rebounds, not the greatest, but he's capable of a triple-double. He's done it before. They're very rare, but this is a backup point guard who comes out some nights and will give you 15 assists, 17 assists, and give you like 10, maybe 10, 15 points every once in a while. So just the idea that they re-signed him for that, I don't think TJ McConnell is going to be traded. If he does get traded, it's not like a huge loss. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not like we're never going to find another backup point guard, but TJ McConnell, I think, gets a lot of shit for his defense and three-point shooting, which is understandable because we're in a three-point shooting league, but he's a guy that I expect to continue to be on the roster. O'Shea Brissett. Torrey Craig is gone. We traded him for Jalen Smith. Dwayne Washington Jr. I don't know if Dwayne Washington Jr. is going to continue to be on the roster. Maybe. He played 39 games this year, shot 40% from the field, 37% from three. People seem to think Dwayne Washington Jr. can be a point guard. I don't think so. He sucks at passing. He sucks at defense. He can't create a shot. He can only shoot threes. That's pretty much all Dwayne Washington Jr. can do. Lance Stevenson, born ready, shooting 45% from the field, 25% from three, scoring 9 points a game, dishing about 4 assists a game, 3 rebounds. I want to be honest with you. I don't give a shit how bad Lance Stevenson plays. When he came to this team, okay, when we signed him, he provided energy. He provided veteran leadership. I don't give a fuck if you got to re-sign Lance Stevenson for the rest of his career. I don't care if he shoots 0% from the fucking field. If he plays and provides energy plays, keep him. Okay? Sign him to like a vet minimum deal every fucking year for the rest of his life and just keep him. All right? For whatever reason, Lance Stevenson, when he came to the Pacers, they played like before he got there, the Pacers were like this sorry-ass basketball team that seemed like they didn't even want to be out there. And with Lance back, they seem like they actually care about fucking playing. So Lance Stevenson, I have no problem giving him a veteran minimum for the rest of his fucking life. 65% from the free throw line, I don't care. You know what? Give him the vet minimum for the rest of his fucking life, and I'm fine with it. Or no, 75%. My bad. I'm looking at Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor, another guy that will most likely get re-signed, or assigned to the G League. He's a guy that I could see the Pacers keeping. Maybe he might not be on the team next year, depending on what we do in the offseason, but Terry Taylor's a guy that I could see the Pacers retaining. Kiefer Sykes, nope, he's gone. He's fucking 5'10", 5'11". He shot 35% from the field, 29% from three. I don't know why Pacers fans were so high on this guy. Granted, he shot 87% from the free throw line, but he scored 5 points per game, 1.2 assists, 5 rebounds, or 5.5 rebounds for a guy who's 5'10" is pretty impressive. But no, actually no, that's not him. That's the guy above him. 1.6 rebounds. My bad. But Kiefer Sykes, at the age of 28, being 5'10", nope, don't see the Pacers keeping him. Tristan Thompson's gone, Keelan Martin's gone, Jeremy Lamb's gone, Isaiah Jackson's going to continue to be on the team, Brad Wanamaker's gone, Goga Bitadze probably gone. I don't see him continuing to be on the team, and everybody else here was a 10-day. Justin Anderson probably won't be on the team. But yeah, Goga Bitadze, the last guy I want to talk about. Goga Bitadze is painful to watch. Some nights he's really good, some nights he's kind of shit. I would be surprised if the Pacers pick up his team option, only because I feel like there's better backup centers that are going to be out there in free agency. Granted, he's only 22 years old. He's only getting about 12 minutes a game, but he's been kind of painful to watch most nights. I mean, he's shooting 51% from the field, 28% from three, and 90% from the free throw line is pretty good, but 3 points per game. I mean, Goga's been on our roster for a long time and seems like he struggles to get minutes. And for a guy who is touted as the next Nikola Jokic, he's clearly not the next Nikola Jokic. So, and if he is, it's not on the Pacers. Just saying. Pacers are going to make a lot of moves in the offseason. They have a lot of stuff to do. They have a lot of pieces to move. And I'm excited. I think the Pacers are really going to change it up in the offseason this year. Brogdon's gone. I wouldn't be surprised if... who else? Goga Bitadze's gone. TJ Warren, I don't know if he's going to be gone. But, yeah. A lot of changes coming. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.